That voice is God speaking to you. That voice is you. Or at least a version of you who did what Christ did and reached transcendence. What you're about to hear is a theory, so be open. We start just with a little story. We have to go back 10 years ago in the far north region of Cameroon at Mara, where I used to live, or where I grew up. It was almost 7 p.m. I was looking at the sunset, the beams of the sun fading on my face. When I heard a scream embedded with my name, it was my father. He convoked me to his office at the same time, just hit me with the question, "Are you a fool?" I was just stunned, not understanding what's going on. And he just continued with, many people came to him to ask about my mental health. Because each time I was leaving home to go to school and going back home, I was speaking alone, and I was doing great gesture because I run scenarios in my head, or I prefer to call it simulations. But those scenarios was motivated by my inner voice. You know, that voice that speaks to you the truth because you know it's the truth, and that judges you. And the point is that everyone has it. So don't look at me as I'm mad. And my theory about that voice is God speaking to you. That voice is you. Or at least a version of you who did what Christ did and reached transcendence. But what's transcendence? Transcendence when your spirit is raised to reach God. You attain a God-like level. You are God, God is you. There is no more individualism there. And when this variant of you is raised to reach God, he just wants one thing: to have more of his variants raised to reach God. So it just passes down information directly to your brain. When you transcend, you are no longer in space and time. You are above all those dimensions. And you are above the dimension containing all the universes, the dimension containing the multiverse itself. Since you are out of space and you're out of time, that means everything that happened or could happen, you see it. And you pass down information to your other variants through their brains. And what's quite interesting with the brain is your subconscious mind processes around 40 million bits per second, while your conscious mind processes about 40 bits per second. You see, there's a tremendous difference here. I think that the subconscious mind is just there to process all the information that variant gives you, because I think it's a more complex information, since what you have here is a great computer, maybe even a quantum computer, but I didn't do enough research to claim it, but it's possible. Why should you blindly listen to that voice and what that voice wants? First of all, it's out of space and time and already sees everything. So what it tells you to do, you don't have to do it. And how do you know that you want the best for you? Because you are alive and you are able to listen to me now. That means you have a lifetime where, you know, each time that voice talked to you, he was speaking the truth. And since he was speaking the truth and wants you to live according to the truth, that means he wants you to live your adventure, not the adventure of lie. Because when you lie, it's no more you who live your adventure. It's the spirit of lie who live your adventure. And there's only one destiny or one fate for the spirit of lie. It is hell. Hell, as you can conceive it, but I prefer to conceive hell as a process. I think we live heaven and hell, or a fraction of it, a fractal of it, on this earth before everything going ahead and above. But the more you lie, the more you have to maintain the fabric of reality as you have shaped it. But the thing is, the fabric of reality always end up by returning to its shape, and it will snap you like never before. And that's why you leave hell before leaving the hell. So tell the truth, or at least don't lie, as Jordan B. Peterson said. Another little story is, in my darkest moment in 2023, I had no meaning, I had no pursuit. My life was aimless. And I was just hiding away by short-term gratification, playing games, doing XYZ. But deep inside I knew it's only when I confronted the truth that the Infinite program came to me and changed my entire year, and it will change my entire life. About the Infinite program, I've just put the link somewhere here. that voice wants the best for you, but that doesn't mean your path will be just rainbow and sunshine. You know why the truth hurts and many people just love the kiss of lies? It's because the truth kills what is unworthy within you and burn it. That's why the truth it's part of embedded with suffering, but you become a diamond under high temperature and high pressure. So that's what I want to say about it. The one question can be raised: what about free will in this theory? I think is God doesn't force you to take any of his paths. He just knows where every choice will lead to you and every combination of choice will lead you. That's why I have to speak about the multiverse recently, because every probability is run out. In that multiverse, there's a 100% probability of whatever you think about has just happened. You can make a link of it with the Akashic records, but that's not the point. But also, I know it's not the only voice we have in our heads, but the other voices, because there's one voice and the other voices, because I call it the other voices because I call them the multitude. You can either do the one who don't know who is who, but actually you know, we both knows. And one trick that I've just discovered is question the origin of your thought. If your thought is based on fear, you already know that it is the multitude. Fear, desire, things like that. And now I can tell you that fear is the root of all evil. The antithesis of love isn't hate or indifference, it is fear. For now you shall know, anyone who tries to convince you with arguments based on fear is being possessed by a demon. A question can rise that, do you mean the point of life is just to play with Overton about choose the one, choose the multitude? I know it's quite simple, but it's not only about that. The thing is, when you reach transcendence, you no longer have to experience anything. I think experience is a blessing because you can make choices, you can make faults, you can live the best part of your life, you can live the horrible one. That's why life is so beautiful and it's so, at the same time, so short. That's a blessing. So that's what I wanted to say about inner speech and consciousness. And this theory lies on action as every theory, but prefer to lay the action at end now. So it's based on the transcendence exists, so God exists, and we are multidimensional beings according to this string theory. We are just experiencing 3D across time, but according to the string theory, we are in 10 dimensions, and most of them are just folded on themselves. So the multiverse exists without a doubt, and quantum mechanics, because in quantum mechanics an electron can be at two positions at the same time until you see. When you see, you force the universe to force the experiment to collapse into one thing. At the moment you collapse the universe to one thing, another timeline is just created, and in that timeline it is at another position. That's how I think this universe and the multiverse just go to expand. As always, I'm open to critics. That's why I put those videos out. I want to be critic. I want people to show me where I didn't look at. I want to know what I should know that I don't know yet. The next video will talk about how Neuralink combined with AI will give birth to a new kind of internet as never before. Thanks.